No, you don't have to. I'm just saying, because sometimes I do feel you'll all of a sudden you'll just and it's like, oh, we're going now. That's fine.
Greetings, one and all, to your weekly dose of 10 o'clock. This is episode 290. Loz was just whinging about me not giving people heads up. He said that I didn't have to, so I didn't. And we are here, special guest.
Oh, look, a bus! I've been thrown under it. Lovely. Sorry.
Hey, I gave you the opportunity. Anyway, special
Professionals.
guest. MCGamerCZ. Lovely having you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Well, you don't have to thank us. I mean, you know, we know this is a pity participation. So, but unfortunately, all three of us are ill. Loz,
I'm not. I'm recovered.
Cool. Loz is recovered. He's deciding to flaunt this over us. And, while we're here being ill, and he's decided that, you know what, I'm not even going to bring my webcam. So, it's such a gracious
so I can hide
co-host.
my illness, clearly.
Anyway, so it's just me on webcam this week. Right. First things first, emblems. So, MCGamerCZ. On the Discord chat, you'll see two emblems in front of you. Any criteria you want, which emblem wins?
The orange triangle from me. Because it's orange and very distinct. The skull looks a lot like the other emblems. It's just grey. I like the orange triangle.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with that. And I just want to point this out. The skull was mine this week, I'm just going to say, so I've lost this week.
When
but
is
still,
the skull yours?
I know. I just want to say, just to point this out, I think I might have done before. The most common thing that we've ever found on emblems is a skull. Just a skull looking forward, either comical or serious, this one being serious. What is it with you, Tenno, and skulls? Let's not get it. Skulls.
Skulls are cool.
Skulls. Yes, but the good guys normally don't have skulls on their arms now, do they? Anyway, let's move on.
Right. Dojo dusting?
Dojo dusting.
No dojo dusting. We're going to be at TennoCon. Xeno is still ill. Thanks, Loz. Next. Cards.
Okay. Cards from last week?
Well, I can't think of any other dojo dusting, so yeah. So, cards. Right. There's one card I really want to get to because I'm like really baffled by it. Right.
Sounds good.
So, MCGamerCZ. Yes, I'm going to use your full name each and every single time.
But is there a shorthand you would prefer?
I don't know. I never thought about it.
Well, it's MCGamerCZ, so...
MCGamerCZ?
Yeah, MCGamerCZ.
MCGamerCZ.
You're going to get sick of us by the end of this.
Most people in the clan just call me MC, I suppose.
MC.
I don't know, that's got too many connotations towards Minecraft.
Or mind
Or
control.
rap.
Or rap, yes. That's true. He is the MC.
Who? What? Huh?
MC.
What?
Master of
Isn't that a
ceremonies.
rap thing? I'm not into rap, by the way. I'm more a metal person. But isn't that a thing, like an MC and then a cool word?
Yeah. MC, short for Master of Ceremonies or mic controller. Essentially a word for
I didn't
rapper.
know that.
The term is not limited to hip hop. Drum, bass, garage, happy hardcore, ragga, and old school rave all feature MCs. However, with these genres, the MC generally MCs live while a DJ mixes the tunes, whereas hip hop MCs mainly do so on record. There you go. You can be the MC of this week. Let's
The more
go.
you know.
Yep.
So you're the rapping gamer. Anyway, so on YouTube, it has a special feature that allows you to ask questions or polls of your audience. So we do this each week. We have 4 of them, and this is our first one for the week. Does something need to be changed about these frames? So if I remember correctly, we're talking Mesa, Sarin, basically the really high Equinox was on there, the really high DPS, the sort of frames you'll see in arbitrations and ESO and things. So we asked the question, does anything need to be changed about these frames, because it kind of makes a lot of the other DPS frames superfluous. 56 people responded. 25% said yes. 75% said no. MCGamerCZ, you glorious rapper, you. Where do you stand on this?
Yo. I don't know. I don't think there needs to be anything change in about these frames in particular. I mean, Sarin plays really well. She's a little bit strong, but you need to sustain your spores, otherwise you're not really doing much. Mesa, she used to be really broken when you didn't need to aim, but you at least need to aim now, and it drains energy pretty fast. And Equinox is fine when you have another frame feeding it damage. If you don't, then you don't do that much damage with Equinox. So I'm saying no.
What do you mean you need another frame to feed you damage?
Well, if you want to do really good damage with Equinox, then you activate your ulti, right? And then someone needs to damage things in your ulti for you to charge the damage and then explode it outwards. And if you don't really have that, then it takes too long to charge, so it doesn't do anywhere near as much damage as like a solo Sarin.
Interesting.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay. On to the next one as soon as I finish pouring my drink. Professional, and I thought that conversation was going to last longer than it actually did.
Well, let me move on to the next one while you're pouring your drink.
Well, no, because I have to press the button to do the graph.
Well, the graph can wait.
Too late, it's already done now. This is the one I care about the most.
Okay, I see.
Right. So, in the last episode, I think there was a consensus between the speakers that we weren't happy to how void tracers were a key integral part of leveling up relics and things like that. And we proposed an alternative method of doing it, or primarily Loz proposed it, which was the daycare system from Pokemon, right? And we had 59 people respond. There goes my microphone. 25% said that they didn't care. 30% said yes. And 44% said no. That 44% surprises me a lot. How do you feel about void tracers, MCGamerCZ?
I don't like them. Because I always cap them out without realizing I capped them out, even though I constantly refine relics. So I think a different system is better. Like, I, for example, like that you get refined relics from Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. But relics themselves, I don't like them. And I'm not too familiar with Pokemon Daycare, so someone needs to tell me how it works.
Have you ever played a Pokemon game?
Yes, the older ones.
Yeah, the older ones. They did have a daycare feature. So what the daycare feature was you gave the daycare person your Pokemon, and they would look after it for you. And then every step you took gave your Pokemon that was daycare 1 point of EXP. So the more walking around you did, when you came back to it, it was then gained like 5-6 levels or something. It was an easy way to level up a Pokemon on the side that maybe you didn't care too much about, but you might want to use once it evolved or something. It was an interesting way of doing it.
Okay, I never used that feature in the Pokemon. So essentially, the way this would work would be kind of like the more relics you run.
So you would choose one relic. You choose the way we suggested it is you then chose one relic that you weren't running and you stuck it in your machine, and then as you did other missions, it would open naturally. It would it would have a progress bar and maybe the length of a mission or the number of missions may be different for each one. Obviously numbers can be changed and whatever, but it meant that you basically were opening the relics as a side thing. You weren't having to focus on opening the relics. You would just get them open naturally. Maybe every mission, maybe every 2 missions. The numbers are up to debate, but it would be that instead of being you forced to go do relic missions to open relics and you're going to have to get the traces from those missions, it was just so it was a side thing, really.
I think a part of it was you didn't have to do it to unlock the relic. Sorry. You weren't using it to crack open the relics. You were using it to level up the relics.
Oh, sorry, it was, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Sorry, I forgot that. Yeah.
So you would still run regular Fisher missions to crack them open.
Oh, right, yes.
But it was a case of getting the void traces and spending them and things. And the idea was that after you'd actually maxed out one, the system would turn around and say, "It's maxed out. You probably want to change it." Yeah?
Or automatically, which is my favourite way of doing it.
Yeah.
Because here's a question for you, MC. Have you ever bothered with a non when you're upgrading a relic, obviously you get them unupgraded. I'm sure you may have used those because I've used them and bought them. And then Radiant. You ever gone like, oh, I'll upgrade this to? I can't remember what the middle two tiers are.
Intermediate. Just call it intermediate.
Yeah. Do you see? Have you ever used those, or do you see any use in those, or do you just go nothing and Radiant?
Pretty much just all or nothing. I don't do any of the between. I don't even know what they're called.
Yeah. We actually looked them up last week, and I've forgotten already. Right. So obviously, people though, not many people like the idea of the relic daycare leveling. Some people did, but not too much. Okay. I think you did skip a card though, Xeno.
Did I? No. That's the second card.
Oh,
the order that gets uploaded on Discord is up to Discord to decide. Right?
Okay.
That's why I do it, Loz.
You could do them one at a time manually on Discord and it would be in the right order.
No. Right. Third card.
Okay.
I'm not dragging and dropping each file individually and clicking 500 million times just to confirm with Discord whether or not I want to upload the image. Right? That's too many clicks, Loz. Too many clicks. Anyway.
Indeed.
So the next card we asked, would you like to return to Saturn 6? So obviously we're coming to an end with the first Nightwave, and we thought the question, should there be a node in Saturn which is called Saturn 6, and maybe you got some special tiles, show some of the prison cells, so on and so forth. And yeah, so we asked the question, should we be able to return to Saturn 6? 62 people responded, 6% said no, 30% said that they didn't care, and 62% said yes.
And would that be like a normal mission, let's just say an exterminate, or would that be like the Iron Wake that's on Earth? Something that you can just walk around and maybe read some.
I like that.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Even that I'd be happy with, but just the fact that we don't ever return to it. The whole thing was named after it, and yet we see it in a few backgrounds, and I think you get the capture a tile set thing, and that's it.
The capture a tile set thing is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely yes, in one way or another. I would.
Cool. The last card. Right, okay. This was another one of my bugbears. Should non-gameplay open world Nightwave acts exist? Right, so this is me hating primarily on fishing. I never want to fish again. God damn it, stop forcing me to fish this stuff. So 60...
And capture pets.
Oh, God. Yep, capturing pets. Mining is slightly more tolerable. Anyway, so 60 people responded. 15% said that they didn't care. 28% said that no, they're exhausting. And 56% said yes, they are fine.
For me, I don't mind them. I don't mind fishing and mining. I actually do it quite a lot because I find it quite relaxing. So I don't feel like playing Warframe, but I still want to be in game and maybe talk to people. I'll just go out and do a bit of fishing and mining. So I personally don't mind that.
I think my problem with it is the fact that limited on time. Often the only time I ever get to play is when I'm recording footage for 10 o'clock. And often that gets wasted on doing arbitrations, trying to get that fecking aura mod. Aura former. Sorry, I keep saying mod, I mean former. Anyway, and when I'm doing Nightwave as background footage, it's fine up until I'm sat there like a lemon trying to catch some mercury.
Yeah, I totally see that, though. That's why I said that I personally don't mind them, but I can see how, especially like normal people that just come home, they play for 2 hours a day or something. If they go in and they're like, okay, I want to play some Warframe, shit, I need to catch 8 fish. Well, let's go do that then. Yeah, I can see that being really...
Cool. Right, so that's it for the cards. And move on to Patreon questions.
Cool. They're all from Zrugal again this week. So first one says, Meep Moop, how are you feeling? Better, I hope.
Yes, I feel better.
He isn't. He's
Same here.
Hey. So you had those incomplete platinum codes in Arbiter review of DevStream 127. How did that go? Are all the codes used up?
So this was a train wreck. Was it last week?
Yeah.
Can't remember. No, it was the week before. It was Wednesday, the 8th of May, because my birthday on the 7th, and I felt like, hey, I'll put these Plat codes in the video. Oh my god, doing that. I don't know if all the Plat codes are used yet. I can't actually find out until midweek. But I imagine by now either they've been used or they're not going to get used. So
Fair enough. Zoogle also asks, how do you feel about Linux?
it's great for development. That's about it. Oh, and web servers.
Okay, I think this is for everyone now. Would you prefer floofs or iotans as real-life decorations?
Would the airtans move?
Yeah.
Still probably floofs. It would be really trippy.
Good.
I don't know. I kind of feel like an Iotan sculpture is a bit like a white elephant.
Why?
Well, it's a bit like, you know what I mean by the white elephant, yeah?
As in, it's a thing in a room which is like, wow, that's a bit odd and odd.
No, the term white elephant is used to describe an insulting gift, because you can't do anything with the white elephant. You can't kill it off or anything, and it costs you money to maintain it because you have to keep feeding the thing. So, but it's like, oh, it's a white elephant. It's really cool, and it's like buying a kid a drum kit. Oh, I just bought your son a drum kit for his birthday. Cool. Thanks. Oh, shit. The drum kit went out the window of that car park on the top floor. Anyway, yeah, I feel like the Iotan sculpture would be like a bit of an insulting gift where you're trying to, oh, I was thinking this of, I thought this was just for you sort of thing. And here you go, and it's this Iotan sculpture, and you're like, geez, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? As it wiggles.
I would like an Iotan sculpture. I think they'd just be that amazing. I mean, obviously, I assume they'd be running on batteries and wouldn't be a magical perpetual motion machine, but yeah.
Are they running on batteries now?
Yeah. Magical gem batteries.
Right, well then it will run on a magical gem battery that will last forever.
No, I think that's a bit too much. I wouldn't mind for batteries, but I just think like the crazy, weird structures, I think it'd be amazing. You just put them in a room, be a nice talking point. But yeah, look at it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I don't know. A lot of my audience have a fit whenever they see my my corner pile.
And the last thing though on your thing says questions closed.
You don't have to read that one out.
You've never put that one before. I feel I must, and it's in all caps.
It is okay.
Intriguing.
Right. Curious your responses for the last episode, Loz.
Okay, so first two are about Nora Knight. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I got two different alternative feels here. Pepper says on Nora Knight, I mean the whole character is based around her being this kind of mysterious person, and her lines only underpin that. I think I'm supposed to say. On the point of finding out a bit about her, I wouldn't mind getting some info why she's always doing all of this and how, and maybe make it so that this info is spread over many seasons, never outright explained, only hinted at, so we get a piece of the puzzle together ourselves. So would you guys? Oh, sorry, but then the alternative by Biscuit Farmer was I'd kind of like it if she had about as much as Ordis in terms of backstory, just a quick scavenger hunt, and we found out who she is. Because obviously she is a very mysterious character. What are your guys feeling? Would you mind that you never know who Nora Knight is, or would you like to find out and how?
I would like to find out, but I would go the longer route because that for me is more satisfying than just doing a short scavenger hunt and knowing. It was good for Ordis, I think, because we didn't know it for so long and then we finally found out what was going on. But for Nora, I would like to stretch it out a little bit. I think it would be a lot more satisfying when you finally get to the end and you kind of get everything together.
I do kind of like the idea of maybe a little lore piece gets added every single Nightwave. I think that would be interesting.
I don't know how I feel, because I really like the scavenger hunt. Because as MCGamerCZ said, we didn't know anything about Ordis for the longest time ever, and having it as a scavenger hunt was sort of like a side thing, and it didn't detract from anything else. Like, I don't know why my mind is jumping to this. I'm thinking the first two Equalizer movies. The first one was absolutely amazing, and you knew nothing of the Equalizer character, Denzel Washington's character. But the second one, they had to sort of like humanize him, and they sort of spent the entire movie to make it all about him. And it wasn't nearly as good as the first one.
Right, they confused what made the first one good, and I think you're trying to say that if they tried to do something Nora Knight, it worked for Ordis, but it might not work for Nora Knight. I think you're trying to say.
I'm saying that the reason why Scavenger Hunt worked for Ordis is because it didn't influence anything else that existed. Whereas for Nora Knight, I'm concerned that if they start having teasers or flat out dialogue or whatever in the actual Nightwave, it might detract from the Nightwave. So I think I would personally prefer it as a scavenger hunt, just to make sure that that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, it could turn into the Columbo problem. I don't know if you ever watched Columbo.
No.
But all the episodes that are about his work are great, and the episodes that are about him as a person are not that good, in my eyes.
That's a fair criticism of them, yeah. I miss Columbo, so good. Right, moving on though. So Biscuit Farmer also says, so if the wolf stays around, and this applies to future Nightwave bosses, which we don't know if we're going to get, by the way, but future Nightwave bosses, doesn't that mean that in a few years we'll just have tons of mini bosses all over the place?
Well, I mean, we have 3 right now. How often do you see all 3?
That's true, but I do think it's going to get kind of silly. I mean, we've got the 3 mini bosses, but we've also got, oh no, you're being attacked by Cephalon Suda again. Woo! And it I don't know, maybe it'd be time to retire one of them to a proper boss. Like the Gustrag 3 might need to become a proper boss somewhere than how they are now. I just think maybe leave the stalking to the stalkers. I think we could get too many. Well, moving on. Railcar. Xeno. If you ever need help with fishing or hunting for conservation, just send me a message. I always find the Mercrays or Norgs fast. Well, if anyone needs help fishing, I'm always happy to help fish some Mercrays. That's Railcar. I assume it's the same name in game. So, yes, ask Railcar to help you fish, Xeno.
I'll try and remember.
Just a quick thing about the wolf. Didn't they say that he's going to be a full-time assassin from now on?
Yeah.
I think they said that.
He's going to be... Is that what you call a mid-boss? Is that what you call Stalker?
Yeah.
Stalker.
What, an assassin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they said that he will have more chance to spawn, and as the mission level goes up, the chance will grow higher.
So they're going to... Once the Nightwave's over, they're reducing his spawn chance back down, but he has a higher chance of spawning on... higher level missions.
Okay. So we now have that Shadow Stalker or Stalker, the Grustrack 3, and then the Zanuka plus the Syndicates.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a part.
I don't know. Like, I'm totally down for an infested one because we don't have one yet.
Well, the next Nightwave is infested, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Here's a question for you.
Can you imagine when it gets to 7 Nightwave bosses, though? Oh no, it's boss number 4! And the next mission, it's boss number 5!
Here's a question for you, though. How do you guys feel that Nightwave Season 2 is not starting straight away after Nightwave Season 1?
That's fine. A bit of a break's always welcome.
Well,
yeah.
I think a lot of people have had a lot of a break right now.
Yeah, no. Okay. Yes, you, me, I'm sure MC Gamer, we've had a bit of a break since we've probably all capped out weeks ago. But there are still people who are furiously trying to catch up and finish up their Nightwaves because they didn't realize it was already going. They didn't realize how it worked, and maybe they weren't doing every single one every week. So they might be in that grind at the moment, so they might appreciate a break. I think it's fine. It allows them to cool off a system, and I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's probably what, 1 week break. That's fine.
I'm wondering how long it's going to.
Yeah, we'll see.
How
Right,
long?
moving on.
No. How long do you reckon it'll be? MCGamerCZ.
I don't know, but I think it's a good idea because Path of Exile, a different game, does this thing called leagues, where they run a different version of the game for 3 months, and then they let people cool off for like a week or two, and then they run it again. And it's been working out fantastically for them. That's essentially how they do business. So I think it's definitely a good idea to have a pause there, because while people like us capped everything as soon as they could, there are a lot of people that are still trying to cap it.
Fair enough. Card?
Nah, save it for later. Zrugel says, and that's why I want to get onto this one, about the relics. A suggestion. How about this? A Titan extractor that you put in the void area that opens relics. You have to do them one at a time and manually, but still, that'd be awesome. I'd do that. I kind of like this idea. So you'd have to build a special Titan extractor. Maybe you could even make it that you have to build a new one each time, and it breaks to open the relic. But it does a relic every 24 hours. You just get an extra relic done. I think that could be useful.
Are we talking leveling it up or cracking it open?
Either, to be honest, but I would say cracking it open, to be honest, would be best. But leveling up would also be cool.
I would prefer to level it up. I definitely keep on top of that. Cracking it open, I'm not interested in. That takes me no time at all.
Yeah, same thing here. I don't think they would do it. I think if they were to do one thing, they would do the refining thing, but not the cracking.
Yeah.
Next, where we are. Oh! It's a random point from I'm Doggy, and then sad smile, I think. So you want to remove damage frames because you don't like them. Well, I like playing with people that nuke. I play a support, so maybe that's why I like them in my team. A lot of the time I play solo because I don't do anything difficult that needs a team with a damage frame. Better solved, you could find... Oh, that's the thing about relics. So, yeah, this was the point discussed. I just want to say, no, we don't want to remove damage frames. I just wanted to clarify that. No one ever saying about frames, if anything, it's improving or changing them. But they also said, their suggestion for the relics was better solved if you could refine relics right before you select your relic for the mission. So on that screen where it says pick a relic, you could also just quickly knock a relic up to the higher rarities.
Yeah.
So you could do it on that screen, basically.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, in theory, you have to leave, go to the terminal, come back, say, okay, invite me to the group again, or whatever, and get your mission set up. I think that could help.
That might actually happen because they're doing mid-mission refinement.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to refine them after you choose the new relic or before you choose the new relic in a mission. So they might do it for the screen on your orbiter as well. That would be great, actually. That's a good...
What was there? Yeah, we're not talking about changing those frames. I think we're perfectly happy with those frames. It's more a case of like, what did the community think? And as someone that constantly plays a support frame, I'm totally fine with them.
Yeah, same here. I always play tanks. I'm the person that's running around and revives everyone all the time and just, does damage with the weapon. And I'm fine with them. I don't see a problem with them.
What's your
if
main
you don't want
Warframe?
to play with them, just play solo. If you don't like it.
What's your main Warframe?
I play either Inaros if I'm running like arbitrations or Korra.
Yeah, I'd love to see your Korra build because I have no idea how to play her.
I have an Umbral setup that's running a lot of sprint speed because that's something that I really like on Warframes and I don't see a lot of people doing. Most of my Warframes have some kind of sprint speed. And then I just go for a relatively strong frame, so a lot of strength with a lot of efficiency, which means that I can play in solo and I don't have to worry about energy too much. And it does a lot of damage because Korra can do ridiculous amounts of damage with her whip.
Interesting. I need to see this. Cool. Right. Sorry.
Right. The last comment is just from JJ24. I think it's like J and then the letter J. Okay. Apparently, resource count trick. I did not know this exists in the game. You can see the number of void traces by linking them in the game chat, then clicking on the resources. and there's I think it says EX example and it says void traces. I think it will show the number owned. You can do this for just about any resource, mods, or gear. Does not really work well for blueprints. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I think what they're saying is you can somehow see your void traces by linking it in chat. And
That's brilliant.
I don't.
Yeah,
know.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's confirm this.
Yeah, so it's like when you link in a Riven mod or anything in chat, right? So you can show off to everyone. If you then click, so if you type in void traces and then you click on it, the game will tell you how many you own. That's actually really clever.
There we go.
Learn something new.
Right. They also, and I'm afraid we don't really have the time to do it justice. I might make Xeno read it later in his illness. They also gave a massive explanation and breakdown, and they used maths to explain about the efficiency of different our suggestion versus the current system about getting void traces and how much time it takes to open a relic as well. And I just can't even do it justice. If people would like to see it, go back into last week's episode 10 o'clock and read it in the comments. But the summary was, and they also compared it to other things in the game because we're talking about RNG here. Let's talk about what are they called? Is it ephemera? The step things? Do you guys think they should stay as percentage drops, or they should be a set number of runs? Let's say you have to kill a boss 100 times, you get it. Or if you kill a stalker 100 times, you get his ephemera. And it's just a pure grind. So you know exactly what you have to do. Because in theory, you could take hundreds of runs to get these 1% drops. And the whole point of the 1% is obviously so that you have to put effort into doing it. But some people are going to get very lucky and get it on one run. Some people, 200, 300 runs, they might never see it. Should they just be a flat, do 100 runs, you get the thing?
Sorry, is this relating to what they're saying?
Yes.
Right, okay.
It was very long
Is
and very complicated and had formulas.
Are those the only two options?
No, but they were basically saying about player investment and how the player base. It's something similar happened to World of Warcraft, but they didn't mention this. That the player base as time goes by, your main player base gets older and older, which means their amount of time they have to grow up, whatever. So the amount of time they have available goes down, and so is making them grind a stupid amount of time to get things fair.
Right. I would prefer the 100 stalker kills than the RNG.
MC?
I would personally prefer that as well, but I don't think it would actually change anything. Because since people don't have a lot of time, if you tell them kill Stalker 100 times, some of the people that would have eventually sort of done it, and actually get the ephemera from him via the random way, will just go, oh no, I'm not killing the Stalker 100 times. Right? So those people won't get it, but then people that are sick of this RNG system will go, okay, I'm going to kill him 100 times. I think it wouldn't change that much in my eyes.
Well, I can easily see a way of cheesing this. You just get the beacons from Barrow, right? That's step one. Alternatively, when you've been death marked, you can see that on your profile. So, I don't have a death mark. I'll go get a death mark. Right, I'll just go run missions until Stalker. Okay, there's a Stalker. Okay, now I'm going to go get death marked again, so on and so forth. With the beacons, you can set up a train. So okay, right, I'm running for the 100 Stalker ephemera. Anyone that wants to get on board, I've got 20 beacons right now, so on and so forth. You're welcome to come with. And you can sort all sorts of shit out. Yeah, I know, I'd personally prefer the 100.
But is that really that much different from just making a party and being like, okay, I have 20 beacons, we all get 20 beacons and just randomly killing it and hoping that it drops something? You might not get it, that's true, but it also might drop early.
I think, for me personally, I would prefer to see I'm working towards something, even if it's a long haul slog, than, okay, a brilliant example is the insane achievement from World of Warcraft versus a 0.01% chance drop of a pet from killing a specific mob in a marshy land.
I actually see what you're talking about there, because I did actually work for the insane achievement. And I did not farm these insanely rare things.
So
Yes.
yeah, like I'm talking about the red. So is it the crimson whelpling? So it was in wetlands, and literally you just had to kill red whelplings or red drakes or something in that small wetlands area.
There was only about 8 that spawned for that.
No. That was the ones in Swamp of Sorrows, right? You had to wait for them to respawn. No, the red ones, you could literally go around in a circle constantly. There was always one to kill if you went around in an efficient circle. But getting one of these whelps would take about probably a minimum of 8 hours worth of killing. Yeah, I did it twice.
You're an absolute madman, sir.
Well, the pets weren't account bound at the time, and the first character I did it on, I basically abandoned because they were Alliance scum. So,
yeah, I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I would rather have the kill Stalker 100 times and just get it done. But I don't think if everyone would like that. I think some people just, especially the people that play less, might actually get it via RNG, and they would never be able to get it if it was, kill him 100 times.
so Loz, what was the point?
No, it's even though it's talking about it would take too long to read the entire post out. It was very long. Well, I think that's an interesting discussion we had there. So we'll call it there for the day. If there's any more comments, we'll get in the description, the comments, and we'll continue this next week. But let's move on to the topics of this week.
I'd also just want to say, with the 100 Stalker kills, I'd at least like a bar somewhere telling me how many I've killed.
Yes.
Just gonna highlight that one. If it's a case of like, you've got to kill him 100 times. By the way, we're not telling you how many times you've killed him. Then I'm like, oh well, I'm just fucking good as fucking RNG, innit?
Yeah,
So,
just put it on the navigation and it's fine.
Yeah, right. Okay, we're on to topics now, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, topic 1. The Jovian Accord delayed. Yep. Topic 2. Decrease ESO leeching by preventing joining with weapons under rank 30. Fuck off. Right. Topic 3. Yeah, topic 3. It breaks my heart that Hydroid is so bad.
Is he?
I don't know, man. Right, so topic 1. The Jovian Accord delayed.
Sad face.
Two-factor authentication will be required for trading on PC. I didn't know this. I was not aware.
And I think you get an ephemera if you activate it as well, don't you?
Oh, do you?
Oh, they always like to give something at first. Yeah, you've got to get people on.
That's a good idea. See there.
Xeno's on board now. Before he wasn't, but now.
You better lose that ephemera if you turn off the two-factor authentication.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure if that's a thing. I just saw some people talking about it in clan chat today. So I guess it's a thing.
They should make it a thing. So next, Wisp will be coming a new light-based weapon with faster. I think that's supposed to be coming with a lightning-based weapon with faster mode, Kavat armor, and alt helm. Notably, not weapons for 2 different slots. In addition to her signature weapon, there will be a new sentient sniper and fully automatic corpus projectile sidearm. Okay. Nyx's shit. Sorry. Oh fuck.
Nyx's shit.
What the hell did I press?
Sad but true.
Okay. I somehow pressed something on my keyboard with this Allen key that made the Windows 7 magnifier glass turned on. So I don't know how that happened. Anyway, so let's scroll back up. Sorry, guys. Apologize. Nope, too low. Right. Nyx's Deluxe. I'm not announcing that collection with a Siren Danner and Shotgun skin will be released. The Aero mod set affecting Aim Glide, Mortis mod set affecting Knockdown Immunity, Proton mod set affecting Wall Latch, and a few other miscellaneous mods will be released. And there will be a new tile set for the redesigned Gas City Jupiter, featuring a new corpus enemy type that are comprised of sentient tech, as well as the Disruption game mode. And we can fight the Rapoalist. Also, no, Rapoalist. Yeah, no, I did pronounce it right. Yeah, seriously, D, could you not make this really complicated to pronounce?
Actually, Steve did tweet something about the pronunciation of these. There were 3 things that he taught people how to pronounce, and I think this was one.
No, it was. It totally was. And that's how I went away and actually learned how to pronounce it, because...
How do you pronounce it?
Sorry, Ropalolist.
Nice.
Ropalolist.
Yeah.
Ropalolist? No,
Ropalolist. Because ro and lo need to be in the same fucking word.
Ha. I think I will pass on this one.
It's just a Flydalon.
The Flydalon?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I saw loads of people, like, Rebecca retweeted it and things like that. And people were like, oh, let me give it a go. Flydalon. Yep, just rolls off my tongue.
I wonder, are we going to fight it in the new tile set?
I think so.
Or where are we going to fight it?
I think we're going to fight it in the new tile set. I think.
Yeah,
interesting.
Isn't that what they were hinting at? They were like, what's that in the background? Wink, wink.
I think what's going to happen is this giant behemoth of a pterodactyl, right? I don't know what's a bigger dinosaur. Flying dinosaur. Big flying dinosaur. No, wait. What's... Loz, fill me in here. Godzilla monster flying.
Mothra?
Mothra. Giant Mothra. I was hoping you'd actually pick a good one. Like, seriously, yeah, you went with Mothra. Okay, fine. Giant Mothra will fly over the sky, it's like the Gas City tile, and just completely destroy the Gas City. And then you're an Arkwing, and you have to fight it in Arkwing.
Oh god, please no.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's going to be like a sort of a, what we called a bridge boss in WoW, basically just a boss, the torso up, and you're kind of running around it. So I wonder if it's just going to fly close to something and you're going to be running around in a room trying to fight it that way. Because I can't think of another way that you would fight it. Maybe on a roof, but I don't
I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
Bridge
I mean, this thing is supposed to be, what, bigger than the Terror List? Or was it bigger than the Hydra List? I can't remember. They said that the scale was supposed to be massive. And... I don't know how they're going to fit that on Jupiter, but they've really heavily said, you're going to fight it on Jupiter. So, yeah. Maybe it's a Deathwing fight, and you have to fight on top.
No. Not the Deathwing fight.
Which bit was first? First, you fight on the back. Yeah, first the spine. Then, there was 3 stages, wasn't there?
Yeah, you had to get up to Dragonblight Tower. Wormrest Temple, sorry.
Was there an airship section?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was an airship section, then you parachute down and you do the spine, and then it was just pedicure of chaos in Mills.
That's the joke I was waiting to get to, yeah. I can't remember the airship section.
I can't either. I thought you just jumped on it straight away. I thought it was just
a Tauren and some dragons.
Yeah.
Like part 1.
You had like the saboteurs running in, and you had to kill them.
I
We'll
can't remember it. Oh well, we'll move on.
We'll never know. But we know the important part, which was what was it? Pedicure of Panic.
Pedicure of Chaos. This will be used to call it.
Yep. He had to push Deathwing into the maelstrom. Cool. Right. Shall we? How do we feel about all this stuff? So, you know, it's been delayed. That's an obvious. That's a given. Are we happy with the content from both the look and the feel?
I generally don't like to comment too much on things that I haven't played with, but I'm always excited for a new update, especially when there's a lot of guns. And this update has a lot of guns.
One thing that was brought to my attention that we're getting this fully automatic Corpus projectile sidearm. So with the sidearm, like, so the Corpus don't have projectile-based weapons. The reason why they took the Snipertron away was because it didn't feel Corpusy enough, as it was a projectile-based sniper rifle.
Yeah.
So how do we feel about this? Do we feel anything? Are we feelingless? Feeling full?
No, it's fine. They've given Grenier bloody energy beam weapons, so they can give Corpus projectiles.
Yeah, I don't care too much. As long as it's fun, I'm fine with it.
What energy beam weapons have they given the Grenier?
Atmos?
That's just a flamethrower on a hand.
It's more of a beam weapon.
Well, so I was really hoping you'd go for the nuke. I was like, no, that's just a microwave gun.
Well, yeah, there is the nuke as well. What is it? Yeah, would you like me to describe the Atmos's description for you?
I could just go with you reading it out loud. You don't have to.
This particle cannon. Freaking particle cannon on your hand. Yeah, it's an energy-based weapon. Generates a condensed beam of superheated plasma designed to melt rock to ore and enemies to molten slag. You slag.
Wait. Since when have the enemies been made of rock?
Or slag. Right. Well, when you're fighting an Atlas. Anyway, moving on.
Yep. So, I certainly want to see I want to get my hands on the Nyx Deluxe skin. You know, I'm totally going to play Nyx with it. Seppin Sage. You know, his art rocks my world. More mods. Does anyone care about the mods?
I was looking at them, and they're just sort of. You described them really well, I think.
Yeah.
They're just sort of.
Are you interested? Oh god, there was one. I can't remember if it was an amalgam mod or something like. Do we have this already? It's like a altered serration, or there's one mod that's either been advertised by them or we already have it. Do we have any sort of like slight variations on core mods? We do, don't we?
Yeah.
Like
we have amalgam serration. Yep.
Yeah, and isn't it like more sprint speed for slightly less serration?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does anyone use those?
I do. I like sprint speed.
This is cool, man.
So, if I have a weapon that does enough damage, I'm just gonna put on amalgam serration. Though sometimes I have to put on additional format, which is a thing that annoys me about it, because it actually drains more capacity than the normal serration.
Feels a little weird.
Yeah. I don't know what the other ones are. I think we have Organ Shatter and one more. I don't remember.
Be interested to know what other people, what other augment mods people actually use their builds today. But anyway, right, okay. Should we move on to the replies? I don't think there's anything particularly to jump on this.
I would just like to say about the mod sets. I don't know why they are so careful with them. They are so very careful with the set mods that most of them end up being very meh. I would like to see some more interesting ones. Like the only one that I think is interesting is the one for the helmet charger, because the one that makes it grow worms, because that gives you crit damage for melee, and that's kind of cool, and you can actually use it. But the other ones are just so safe, and they end up being sort of mediocre at best. I would like them to see some more, to do some more interesting things with them.
I can get behind that.
Do you feel that there should be anything in the game that improves the quantity of mods you can have on your Warframe or your weapons? Because there's obviously a very limited combination of things you can do with the same capacity each and every single time.
Well, I think they're sort of heading in the right direction with some of the Warframe augments, like the one for Mesa, for Peacemaker. I don't know what it's called. The one that lets you move. That can be put into an Exilus slot. So if they did something like that, I don't think they should just straight up add more mod slots, even though people have wanted augment slots for as long as I can remember. I don't think they should do that, because that is a lot of power creep. But something with the augment so that you can just fit them into the Exilus, though then again you run into the problem of some augments are a lot better than others, so I don't know. That's a tough question.
I think it's good. It encourages you have to make choice. You can't just be like, oh, I'll just fit more mods in. Seeing as they do it with weapons, though, I think weapons should have a whatever slot. So, you've got the Zors and the kick guns. They can have aura slot weapon sort of thing, can't they? Oh, sorry, aura slot mods.
No.
They have an extra slot. Yeah, they can, do they?
No. They have...
No.
I mean, thinking of Arcane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Arcanes. Well, okay then. Should all weapons have Arcanes to balance it out?
No, I mean, like, I'm thinking... So, they started to break the mold a little bit with the Umbral Former, which thus far we've only had one of. The insanely rare Aura Former, which I still have yet to get one of. Why not have something that's again, maybe it's something that's part of the Nightwave, so you can only, they can really control the frequency in which these come out. Where it's a weapon former that could give you an extra slot. Yeah?
Yeah, I really don't know how I feel about that. I don't know why. It would make sense, if you just put in the time and effort, you can have stronger guns, but I don't know.
Because, like,
how I feel.
I feel like as soon as people have, this is the combination of stuff I like, there's next to no reason to play with it or anything like that. There's never really a time when DE release another set of mods or anything that would benefit removing the entirety of your build to accommodate this mod set, as you were saying before.
Yeah, well, I see the problem here, especially with like crit weapons, specifically on secondaries, because if you want to do a crit build on a secondary, you have no room to play around with anything, because you have two multi-shot mods there. But I think it's kind of like what I like to call the freezer problem. I have a pretty big... I started off with a pretty small freezer, and I filled it up and I wanted a bigger freezer. So I bought a bigger freezer, and it was full within a month, and now I want a bigger freezer, right? So it doesn't matter how big of a freezer you have, you will always fill it up and want a bigger freezer.
Yeah, I think that's what it'll be. Give people one extra mod, then it'll be like, oh, we want to have double former slots so we can double or half it again, and it'll never end. I think the amount we've got is pretty good, but just that more interesting set mods and more. The thing is, the thing I remember, I brought this up quite recently, was the original silver uncommon status mods. They have really low status increase, and they're on every weapon type. And originally Scott said that they were being very careful with them at first to see if they didn't want status when damage 2.0 came out to be too overpowered, and they would up it over time. And they did release the event mods, which are damage and the status. And those have a much higher status than the uncommon mods, and they never did anything with those uncommon mods, but you can still get them to drop. So they're useless, basically. Absolutely useless. Whereas if they were a higher status, maybe they'd be more competitive. But they're so safe with their mods. But then they brought out Rivens, which just confuses me, because Rivens are not safe in any way. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for that.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. The normal status mods are just terrible. And it would be great if those status mods were better than the dual stat mods, because then you could take a weapon and go for crit, and you could put in a status mod to substitute all your status and then run just like 90% elementals to bring up the damage and all that. It would be a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I think they're more effective and less capacity, the dual mods. It's just silly.
They are. It's just ridiculous.
So, do you use any of the mod sets at all, MCGamerCZ?
I use the one for the helmet charger. I don't remember what it's called anymore, but it's the one that makes it grow maggots and grow in size, and that gives you crit damage, and then the maggots pop off and they run off and crap. They're kind of like Nidus's maggots.
Right.
So they explode and you can pick them up for healing. That one's really cool because it changes the way you play. But for the other ones, I just use, the gladiator mods when I want more armor or health. I don't use them because I want the gladiator effect necessarily.
I'm just wondering, like, is it worth asking the question of the audience? Do you use any of the set mods?
Yeah, I think that's a good question.
Okay, should we go to the replies?
Yeah, sure. So, first one. Wasn't the Snipetron removed because it was a projectile and that wasn't the Corpus way? There we go, yeah, we discussed that. After seeing this, worth to try, and want to try those new mods on the Riven challenges. Really? Oh, affecting aim glide and immune knockdown and wall latch. Maybe for some of the Riven ones that could be useful, yeah? That's torture! I understand why you chose not to release it today, even if you have a build ready, because of the iteration and the fact you'll have a holiday on Monday, but that's still torture! Crying face. Did they have a reason for the delay?
I thought they said it wasn't ready.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's, I think, what they said. It just wasn't ready. They even scrapped some classified documents.
They did?
Yeah.
They may have.
I'm
not saying they did.
Oh, they could have.
Next one says, about 2FA? What's that mean?
Two-factor authentication.
Xeno's on the ball. Can I get the codes with the Warframe app, like the Stream app? Steam app? Oh, Steam app. I just need to use the code once by PC, not every time I trade. That's a fair point. So the Steam one, I think the Blizzard one's the same as well. Once you authenticate a PC, you then don't need to do it again for quite a while unless something changes.
Well, is that not how it works? That's how it works on Warframe. I got two-factor authentication on. I've never had.
You?
Yeah, like you've got it on, Loz, because there's no way you can be in the Warframe Partner Program without it turned on.
Lies. I haven't got anything turned on. I'm not in a partner program. Fair enough. There we go. Okay. I think maybe people think more of it, but there you go. Yeah, I suppose if that's the thing, I've not had to use it until. Yeah, that's how it works. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they're saying they want to get the code from the Steam app, not from like the Steam app. Sorry, they get the code from the Warframe app, not from your emails. Because if that's what you mean,
that is more than likely what they mean.
That was probably what they meant. Yes, there we are.
But they just, they would need to change the app. And I mean, come on, everyone has email on their phone.
Come on, guys. What do you mean? Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, pretty much.
Please give us a space Roomba for our personal quarters. Well, you got that one. You getting that bloody Roomba. Hate it. Hey, why am I full of hate? I'm always full of hate. Next one. Few can stand against alone. What? Few can stand against alone. Referring to the... Okay, I'm going to say it now. Ropalolist?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey. Somehow those words give me the hints that the boss will be easy. Hope I'm wrong. Last reply. I don't. I think maybe you can stand against it alone, referring to the Ropalolist. Ropalolist. I don't know. I don't know. How challenging are you guys expecting it to be?
you remember how when we did Sargus Rock for the first time, it was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then now it's just like, oh, is it over yet? Yeah, it's going to be like that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like the Eidolon or Spider Fight. You go there for the first time, it's like, oh my god, what's happening? What's happening? This is awesome. And then a little bit later down the line, it's gonna be like, looking for group 8 Eidolons in 5 minutes. We're just gonna kill them and get the loot, and we're gonna be done. So yeah, I think it's gonna be the same. Just pretty hard to begin with. People are like, this is challenging, and then after a week, Brozheim and all the other lads figure out how to kill it in 5 minutes, and it's gonna be done.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. Right, the last reply is, thank you for learning your lesson from those stupid redesigned lockers and making the remastered Gas City still look like the corpus would actually want to make it. These are penny pinchers. They want cheap metal skeletons and LED strip lights whenever they can get away with it. The milled metal furnishings and holograms would be reserved for like Nef Anyo's private quarters, not the workspace of lowly crewmen. I have no idea what they're quite saying about that.
Yeah.
You guys know? Is there a change to the lighting or something? If they've put like the old lockers back in, I will be happy with that, because I do feel it was silly to just completely get rid of the older lockers.
I like the older lockers; they look cool.
Yeah. I might be a bit biased because it's one of the few models I have, and I'd have to get the new one. But still, it just seems weird to me to just dump a model and just go, oh yeah, so they're all using this more upgraded locker now. It's like, no, keep the old ones in, because it makes sense, as I've said here, that they're penny pinchers, the corpus. It's like, oh, the new places get the good lockers and other places get the cheap, nasty lockers. Right, well, that's it for the replies, though. So that's it for that topic.
Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Topic 2. Decrease ESO leeching by preventing joining with weapons under 30.
Will do absolutely nothing.
Yeah. The stated...
Weapons don't do damage in ESO.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
Only Sarens.
Yep. The stated primary goal of ESO was to allow for a more efficient method of farming focus. No, it wasn't. The issue that arose with this is that leeching will join and not contribute to completing the goal of making it through the waves efficiently, and in turn decrease the gains allowed to the others. In addition, if they are somehow the host, they can cause premature affinity and progress loss due to host migrations. Proposed solution required maxed weapons and amps when starting an Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, and this should only apply to Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. Bonus, start with an infinite C rotation starting at Zone 8.
That I like. Infinity rotation starting on Zone 8, but the weapons thing isn't gonna do anything. The problem isn't with the weapons, it's with the ESO game mode, and it's just kill as fast as you can, right? So it doesn't matter. And on top of that, as I said already, weapons don't do damage in ESO. You can't really get to Zone 8 by using weapons alone. They don't kill fast enough. You need a Sarin or something like that. So yeah, I don't think that would solve anything, really.
Yeah.
Well, another point is, what's the value of putting constant C rotation rewards on? There's nothing in ESO.
There's ephemeras, and is there ephemera? I think there is an ephemera.
And I think you're right.
Some other stuff as
But it's
I haven't farmed them, but sorry.
No. You keep going.
No, I hate interrupting you.
No, I interrupt everyone, so it's fine. Silence.
Only silence.
I feel that ESO, like arbitrations, needs a bit of a facelift. So I've got a whole rant about arbitrations. ESO, I think there should be stages in the combat where you don't have to contribute to efficiency of killing stuff, but there's like one big thing in a room. So like imagine you're fighting and then all of a sudden you're put in a room and there's a terror list in there. And the terror list is like, I don't know, level 200, right? You then have to beat that terror list to keep on going, right? But the terror list can one stomp you if it wanted to, right? Or you could put Sargus Ruck in there. And if you get hit by his fire that spews out from the ground, again, he'll just one-shot you and things like that. Like, I would much prefer it if they improved the gameplay of ESO than anything else, because you're going to get leeches no matter what you do, right? You take away the leeches from ESO, you're going to have a lot fewer people actually playing ESO.
Plus, the best way to play ESO is with a organized group, so you don't have randoms migrating you all over the place. But I actually like your idea a lot. I was thinking about a similar thing, but your thing sounds better. I was thinking about just a random mini-boss spawning in, something like Sargus Ruck, and when you kill him, you get just a crap ton of efficiency for it. So you can either just demolish the smaller things, or you can focus on the bigger guy.
Yeah.
One thing that got me is wasn't ESO originally going to have more to it? That there would be, you had to hunt down a mob in the tile and things to open up the keys to get the next portal unlocked and things like that.
They really dumbed it down.
Yeah, I think that would also be the issue.
That I think was the
Super
original.
ESO.
It was sort of like this delving system where you would go from one to another, and you had to find keys and then open that, and they kind of scrapped that. I don't know why, really. They talked about it on a dev stream, but they scrapped.
I don't know. Maybe they felt it wasn't fun. Maybe they felt that people weren't engaging in the enemies.
Well, we never got a chance to try it, so who knows?
Yeah.
And do you really engage with the enemies now? Because if
Well,
I
you gotta
do
kill
ESO,
them.
it's Sarin. Well, I'm playing
Oh.
Sarin, so I throw a spore, then I melee once, and everything dies.
No, you didn't. You still had to engage with the enemies because you had to kill the enemies to make the something spawn or something had to drop, as I recall. It was slightly more complicated. Well, you wouldn't just ignore their enemies.
No, there was one instance where you'd had to ignore the enemy, where you could basically ignore the enemies, and then there was another instance where it was you had to kill the enemies before the thing would spawn, and then you would have to find the thing, and then they just removed the thing, so you just had to kill enemies.
Right.
I think that was the one thing that the game mode actually needs something else to do, not just kill everything as fast as you can, just some other thing that you're focusing on as well. Because if you're just killing a lot of stuff, it kind of gets repetitive very quick.
Maybe there needs to be one wave where you just have to survive.
Yeah, something like that.
You're not going to kill anything. The efficiency isn't going down. You've just got to survive.
Now that I think of it, actually, when you were talking about the boss, what if you kill that boss, the efficiency drain slows down?
Sure. Yeah.
So you can just keep on killing the smaller guys, or if you want to, and if you have the capability of doing so and the gear, you can go in, kill the boss, and make the zone a little bit easier for you.
Yeah.
That could work. But still, I think something more, because I feel that they let's be fair, they have looked at arbitrations and they have put something more to its rewards now. I know to Xeno's constant pain, but does seem like a very interesting and unique reward. What have they really added to ESO apart from more Captura tiles and updated the relics?
They've added more Captura tiles?
I think they did, didn't they? Yeah, from the original release.
No, I don't think they have.
Oh, really? Okay.
I genuinely don't think they've added anything apart from this ephemera.
And
the
ephemera.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. Yeah.
Are the Captura tiles sellable finally? Because they weren't.
Yeah, you could trade them.
But can you sell them for credits?
Oh, don't know.
Yeah, because I have a bunch of them. I play quite a bit of ESO, actually. I like it. I don't like it as much as I thought I would, but I still play it when I just want to demolish things with Sauron. And I have so many Captura scenes. It's ridiculous.
I certainly would rather play ESO over Arbitrations if given the choice.
Yep, same. Depends on the game mode, though. I think that Arbitration Interception is pretty good. I like that one because it makes sense, right? I don't like the fact that you have to go 2 rounds before you get a reward, but the reward isn't too bad if you want Endo, that is. But I think that one was done probably the best out of all of them because it's just if an enemy captures a tower, they get points much faster. And I think that's how it should be rather than survival, where it's just like you're playing solo, well, you're not really making it past 20 minutes.
I don't know, because like I was doing a interception earlier today, and like it's the Hydron tile, and the D point you struggle so much to capture because everything floods into that small box. You cannot capture it. It is so bloody hard to capture. Like, if you don't capture it at the beginning of the mission when there are no enemies around, it's fucking a nightmare. It really is.
Yeah, that is a problem with interception. The enemies usually tend to swarm 1 or 2 points, and the other 2 people are just like, is anything spawning? Is anything going on? While the other 2 people are like, please help, I'm done.
Yeah, so unless you actually have like 3 of the 4 points, there is no way on earth you can win the Arbitration Inception. My preference is the excavation ones.
Oh.
But they're bugged. Like, I actually... So, I found this bug, and I've written up a report for DD about it, because I think this has gone too long undiscovered. But basically, if a player dies before a excavator dies, right, it indicates to the game engine, hey, look, this is my theory, by the way, this is not proven, right? It indicates to the game engine, okay, send the special enemies, right, the arbitration drones, to this area where the player has died, allowing other players to spawn, to resurrect them. However, if you don't have a excavator going, right, no enemies will spawn, right?
Oh.
But if the excavator is not near where the player died, right, the special enemies won't spawn. Notice I'm saying plural because this includes the arbitration drones and the enemies with the bloody batteries.
Oh, that sucks.
Right? It was only until a excavator dropped right next to my corpse did the arbitration drones and the enemies with the batteries started spawning. And then the whole mission went back to normal.
Right. That sounds like a problem that just happened because of the added revives.
Yeah, so I sent them a report detailing what I think is the cause, and hopefully they'll be able to try and pinpoint that down, because that's been happening way too often in excavations, and that is my preferred game mode.
I don't know, maybe it's the interception. It's kind of more nostalgia because every time I go do an interception, it's Grenier and it's on the Draco tile set. So I'm just like, oh, Draco, rip Draco. And I'm very happy to be there for a little bit. So maybe it's just nostalgia.
To be fair, I don't mind Draco. It's just the Hydron one. It's just like, no, this one's hell.
Yeah, I'm just that. I spent a lot of time on Draco back in the day, just leveling stuff for videos. I have some fun memories.
I'm going to ask the card. ESO versus Arbitration or rewards. Loz has gone silent.
No, it sounds fine. It's a good card. I was just sitting listening. It was good. Yeah. Didn't have anything to add, really. Yeah.
Doesn't play the game, guys.
I do.
He doesn't play enough of the game, guys.
I don't play enough of the game, but does anyone play enough of the game?
Not nowadays. Just waiting for the content drop.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I even got a 50% login platinum, and I was like,
Sorry, that was completely too spontaneous for me to cover up.
good.
Yeah, I decided to go the push to talk route rather than just trying to mute myself, because sometimes it just starts and I'm.
Yeah. Right. Should we go to replies?
Sure.
Well, do you have anything to add, Mr.
Yeah.
Silent?
Is that me?
Yes.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Go for replies.
Yeah. So first reply, you can join sorties with underleveled weapons. Isn't that the point?
Well, not really. I mean,
No, as in the person saying stop people doing this, and this person's saying you can join with underleveled weapons. That's yeah.
well,
I think it depends on. Go ahead.
I don't think that saying you can do it with sorties really invalidates their point of.
Oh, sorry, my brain. I didn't even mention the word sorties in that sentence. Oh,
Yeah, you
my
did.
word, yeah. No, I did. I read it. I didn't. I thought we were talking about. I thought we meant ESO. You can join ESO with underleveled. It's like
Right.
Sorry, that's my brain. Yeah, no, you can join sortie at low levels. Yeah, it's not that big an issue.
Yeah, but
Right.
it doesn't invalidate the point of.
No, for ESO, yeah. That's the thing. I read ESO in my brain. It's failing. Clearly. Right, the second point. Not going to lie, I'm one of those players that goes to ESO in order to level /formal weapons. Though usually I then take something like Trin, that's Trinity, but shorted, Range Chroma, or Rhino in order to support my team. If you would remove the ability to bring non-fully leveled weapons, I wouldn't play that game mode anymore.
Oh yeah, I can appreciate that. I don't think they should do it.
I think it's all depends on people. If you go there and you're an absolute bellend, you're not doing anything, then yeah, people are going to be annoyed. But if you go there, like if I'm leveling something on Hydron and it's a weapon, and I'm only going to run that weapon, I'm going to run something like Trinity and at least feed people energy so that I'm useful. I think it's all down to people.
I think if DE were to turn around and add in this sort of like WarioWare, God, the Dawn of War 2 Last Stand, every 4 or 5, let's say 5, every 5 rooms there is a boss monster, or there's a challenge you have to do, like survive the stalker, or
Would you like this on the current system, or would you like another tier to ESO? Because I think that's the solution. Let's give ESO more tiers. Like you've got normal ESO, you got SO, then you got ESO. Let's have other ones to add in these extra things to let them try out.
Radiant Sanctuary Onslaught.
yes,
No.
exactly.
Arbitration Sanctuary Onslaught, and you have the drones flying around making everything invulnerable.
Oh my god.
I'm a genius.
Dear D, get on this.
Yes, they could. Yeah, there we go. They've fixed it all. Yep. Okay, the next one, sorry?
Yeah.
If you want to play long SO ESO, just search for a team on Recruit Chat instead of going with random people.
Sorry, actually, my point was that if you introduced those new challenges and bosses and things, if you didn't get to complete it or whatever, if you were stopped, you were forced stopped at like 4 or 5 or whatever, people would stop doing it and people would start cursing at you and things like that. Groups would form very rapidly, like, oh, are you doing this all the way, or are you only going to 4 and out or whatever? And if players turn around and say, don't respond, it'll become, I think it'll, like, people leveling weapons and things passively through ESO would become a lot less tolerated, and thus it'll be harder for them to do it, and thus they won't do it anymore, right? Because personally, like, there's next to no difference between leveling it in ESO or regular SO.
Yeah, I think like back when we had void keys, people wouldn't do it in survivals. They would maybe take a secondary to level up on the side, or maybe a melee, but people just didn't do it, even though they could. Why? Because people would remember you. You're that guy that did bugger all throughout a survival and made it so that we had to leave at 30 minutes, so they won't invite you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah, you get a reputation, don't you?
Yep.
Next one. Where are we up to? Oh, no, 2 left. A high match rank player with a freshly formed weapon will outdo a non-formed weapon that is rank 30, especially the more formers that are applied. With frames, the restriction makes more sense because frames get more powerful with levels. This simply isn't so with weapons. So fair point in there. When you've got health, energy, tools, armor, I think as well. You know, it all increases with level on frames. They kept saying they were going to do that with weapons to take a bit of burden off things like Serration, and never got around to doing it. And then lastly, the last one. ESO. Entertainment for Saturn only.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. Well, that's it for the replies. Have you got your card? I've forgotten this one.
We got a card, yeah. So we've got 2 spaces available still. And then the 5th one will be to MCGamerCZ's channel.
Cool. Okay. Should we move on to topic 3 then?
Yes. Let's move on to topic. Okay. It breaks my heart that Hydroid is so bad. I keep on thinking Hydron. No, they are actually saying Hydroid. It broke my heart to see how little love was put into the rework. How old is this post?
I was about to say, am I that far out of it that Hydroid had a stealth rework I didn't know about? Am I that disjointed from the game? But yeah.
This May 9th. Okay, right. It broke my heart to see how little love was put into the rework. It felt like there was no insight into what a Hydroid player would want, and it scares me to think that it may be years and years before another rework comes along. Passive is completely boring and useless. What are you doing?
Nothing.
The changes, the charge times on his 1 and 4 aren't fun to use at all. It slows him down and kills him. The way his tentacles work fundamentally means he has to keep placing them down. I like to compare this to if Saturn were to be given 2-second charge times on her 1 and 4. Saturn players don't like that idea. His wave contradicts his low duration placing tentacles build. I also think all Hydroid mains wanted the size of the wave to scale with range. His puddle has an absurdly low base range and only pulls 1 enemy at a time. Building enough range to get a 30-meter requires Hydroid to forego too many stats, and his kit uses all the stats. Puddle size doesn't scale with range.
Do you narrate audiobooks? You should narrate audiobooks.
There would be so many pronunciation mistakes, I'd probably have to go over them
I
again.
don't care. I would just like to fall asleep to that. That was marvelous, my good sir. Marvelous, I say. No, I think the problem with Hydroid is that he's really strong. Like, really strong. With the puddle and the corrosive... What is it? I don't even know. His first ability with the augment. It's just really strong. And if you let that cover... Yeah, and if you let that cover a big area, he's just going to be ridiculous. That, I think, is the main concern there. And the tentacles, well, that depends on how you build it, really. I have a tentacle build for Hydroid, and it's fine. I don't really see a problem with that, but I can see how he can get out of hand very quickly if you give him more coverage.
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, What do people want to get out of Hydroid? Well, he's sort of a damage / CC frame, I would say, and I suppose his CC is just a bit lacking in the game. I think that's more of the bigger issue than his in general. But he has, I mean, as long as he has energy, he can do quite a lot of things. He's also I still think one of the only 2 frames that can give additional loot.
There is way more.
Is it?
You have Necros with Desecrate. You have Atlas with Orgaze.
Wow.
You have Korra with
Orgaze
Pilfering
do?
Strangledome, and then Hydroid.
Korra
And then
doesn't
there is the new-
exist.
Korra does
Sorry.
exist.
She does. She does. And then there is the new Chisakubro as well. That's not really a frame, though.
But that's that. But you could have that in addition to it. So really,
Yeah.
there's so 1 of 4. Still 1 of 4. That's not compared to what we got 30 odd frames.
No, we're
Yeah.
nearly 40.
Nearly 40. Really?
Let me check,
Yeah,
actually.
like Harrow was 33 or something.
Okay. There we go. Well, and so that.
Pretty sure.
But it's only 10% of frames have that, so he has that unique thing going for him as well. I don't know. I think if anything, his. Is it 2? I'm gonna have to check now. I'm confusing myself. I don't. I mean, I wouldn't say I play a great deal of Hydroid, but I've never felt him too. There's other frames I feel that need more work than Hydroid. Yeah, it's 2 is the only thing I don't like. I just feel it's
Which one's his 2?
Tidal Surge.
That's gotten a lot. Is that his wave?
Yeah.
Right. That got a lot better because so that is permitted to work
In Undertow, yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge deal.
See, but why not just... I just feel that that's... the thing is, I think, because Hydro's kind of old, it's a movement ability, and movement abilities are... A lot of them are pre-Parkour 2.0. It's like Slash Dash on and then Rhino Charge. They really were useful back when... And Wormhole. Actually, Wormhole's another one, yeah, as well. They actually... We're not saying bounce, though. They were... When we only had... We didn't even have double jump back then. God, it was crazy. We could barely run up walls. It was anything. It was crazy. So they actually gave you something useful. It was like, oh, this frame has additional movement as part of its kit. I would say now they just don't seem as effective for a movement point of view. I mean, yes, you're saying it lets Undertow move, but I don't like the idea that I have to use another ability to make the first ability feel... The justification of the second ability is because it can affect the first ability.
No, I thought it also synergized that if you were in Undertow, you then did Tidal Surge, you could actually grab the enemies and bring them into the Undertow.
Yeah, that's what Undertow does.
No.
While traveling waveform, activating Undertow halts Hydroid at its current position and transitions directly into liquid form on impact with the ground. Enemies pulled by a Tidal Surge will sink into Undertow as it forms.
Yes.
Okay, I guess. It's still... I've always felt it a bit meh, but I suppose that they've added that in there, but just feels a bit meh to me. That's the only thing I feel. But Undertow is brilliant. I think it's hilarious. I mean, I remember when they showed it and they thought, God, this is awful. But to me, I think it's his most unique piece of his kit. Tentacle Swarm, I like they added the bloody Kraken in. And it's always been
Prime.
a bit of a... Oh, no, it's only a Prime?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't say that here.
MCGamerCZ.
Really?
I'm like... I would bet Loz's left lung on that it's on the Prime.
Hydroid briefly summons the Kraken at the center of the spawn area as a visual effect. The Kraken emerges from pool of water and submerges slightly in spears. Kraken is affected by Hydroid's chosen Warframe appearance and energy colors.
Yep, only on the Prime.
I like my lung. Wow, anyway. That'd be ridiculous, only the Prime. There would be mad outrage. But and the last one is the Tempest Barrage. A bit meh, but it's a first ability. Let's be fair, every Warframe has to have a meh-ish first ability, and alright as it goes. I mean,
Nullstar's not meh.
Take that back.
Nullstar is not meh.
Thanks.
Neither is Hydroid's Barrage.
Yeah,
okay,
neither is Smite. Neither is Decoy.
Yeah, what about fireballs and frostballs and lightning zaps?
Hold on. Are you saying, hey, what about this completely garbage Warframe that I'm only going to pick the one ability to pretend as if it's not garbage?
Are you about to declare 3 Warframes as garbage?
Well, you said the fire one.
I said the fireball, the frostball, and the lightning jab.
The lightning
Which you've
jab.
got.
The lightning jab is really useful and important for machinima purposes.
Oh, okay. Good recovery. Good recovery there.
Yeah.
Excellent. I was like, oh, he's going to say it's got this useful thing. No, from machinima. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I understand. Yep.
Yeah.
Good. That's fine. Right.
Frostball. I don't know. No. Is that the wave?
No.
The conal wave?
No. His one is throwing a snowball at someone. And then there's the conal wave is the two.
That's kind of shit.
Yeah, Hydroid's barrage is good though. If you put on the
I think the mods and all. That's what I said. I mean, you can mod it and it's good. I think with mods, it's
Nullstar's good.
Back. Right.
Nullstar is good.
Nullstar is good. I know it's good. But you still can't.
Go ahead.
You still have to spell it to recast it, though, don't you?
No. First off, if you take the augment for Nullstar, you can. No, you shouldn't.
Oh, you shouldn't. Oh, is it?
No.
Shouldn't? Oh, okay.
If you take the Nullstar augment, you can detonate them by clicking it again. However, my preference is to take the molecular prime augment.
You can take more than one augment.
Yeah, no, my preference is to take the molecular prime augment, which is when you kill an enemy with molecular prime, it will refresh a Nullstar. So you can keep up the damage reduction.
Yeah, Nullstar is really good. That's also gives you damage reduction, right?
Yeah, Loz!
It looks silly. It's so
Loz!
It looks stupid. I'm sorry. It's the visual thing. I hate the visual. Okay.
I find that it works really well with adaptation because by the time you lose enough stars to start taking damage, you're already adapted to the type of damage you're taking. So adaptation kicks in already. So that's really good.
Gamer, CZ. He knows his shit.
But why can't Nova have overheat?
What?
Anyway, because that's all damage reduction. That's two very good ways of increased damage reduction with adaptation plus the Nullstar mods and things giving you very good damage reduction. As in Nova, a very squishy frame, being given a good amount of damage reduction, which was exactly what they said they wouldn't allow Ember to have overheat for, which was 90% damage reduction.
Yeah, but Ember's just shit, so See, no arguments. Moving on. Moving on.
Do you want the replies?
Yeah.
Okay. Remove the charge mechanic on both 1 and 4. Add toxin to Tempest Barrage. Allow puddle size of undertow to scale off range mobs and pull multiple targets in based off range mods. For Tentacle Swarm, replace the magnetic damage with toxin. Seriously, why does it even do magnetic? Replace the ragdoll with knockdown or stun while enemies remain in its field of effect. This removes the annoyance of flailing enemies. I like the flailing enenemies. I know it's stupid and makes them hard to hit. You can, but they're flailing around, so it's not easy.
Catch Moon, there you go, job done.
I mean, the flailing enemies are half the fun. It's the same with Korra Strangledome. It wouldn't be as much fun if the enemies weren't spinning around like they're on a merry-go-round.
Yeah. Next reply is, I kind of wish we had an Exalted Kraken as his 4th ability. All sorts of ways you could possibly make that fun to use, especially compared to what we get currently. Also, that passive always bothered me. A lot of frames could do with a quality of life passive pass, as many have aspects that are outdated, clunky, or just not fun to use / play with.
What?
Can I just check? Is Nova still...
Butt fart,
yep.
Butt fart.
Yep. Okay. There are some of them that are just like, they'll call it lunch. What's this thing? Oh, it's melee slam attack. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. When you slam, you have a chance to spawn a tentacle, right?
Yeah.
An Exalted Kraken, how would that work? Would you go like Exalted Dr. Octopus or how would you do that? That would be awesome, kind of like Darkness. And they have experience in that. They did Darkness too, didn't they? So they could do that.
Yeah.
Just walking along. Actually, I don't know, like maybe you'd just point at an enemy and all of a sudden a tentacle just rushes up and grabs it and starts flailing around randomly. I don't know. Does it really need an exalted weapon? I don't
It'd be
think so.
awesome, though. I think an awesome augment would be that Hydroid springs the tentacle out of himself and then they grab enemies, and if they die, then they drop more loot or something. That'd be kind of funny. Just go full Dr. Octopus.
Just go for Dr. Octopus.
So I'm going to ask a card, does Hydroid need a rework? Because I don't really know. I'm not a Hydroid main. I don't feel agony playing him because I don't play him. So I'm interested to know what the...
I don't know. Maybe you could expand it and just say, how do you feel about Hydroid? And then one of the options would be needs a rework.
Okay.
Because then you can also put in don't care and don't play. You know, you can put in other options there. Then.
Okay.
How do you feel about Hydroid? Because we can get more feedback with that.
How do you feel?
While you're doing that, I'll just read out the last reply because there's not much left. Maybe some tentacle whip could be automatic, corrosive water launcher, and would have higher effective HP than normal state. Entire abilities could be changed buff while is this just one combined thing? I think maybe where the comments stop on this one. I think this is still talking about. I think this is talking about Exalted Kraken. Maybe some tentacle whip could be automatic, corrosive water launcher, and would have higher effective HP than normal state. Entire abilities could be changed buffed while being a Kraken. Or being a Kraken. You already can become a puddle of water, now you want to become a... Okay, fine. I like the fact that at least they added the visual Kraken.
Kraken is awesome.
The Kraken is awesome. Do I want him to do more though? It's already doing quite a lot. I think it's just maybe the problem with Hydra is also the way that the feedback of your use of abilities. It's a bit of a weird one because a lot of his abilities are fire and forget. They go and do their own thing, and so you don't feel like with Saturn. You know, you can see the numbers exploding everywhere, and you have to keep up your spores and break the spores and all this other stuff. With Hydroid, you've got your Tempest Barrage. You go, like, well, over there is going to explode, and then you go, well, I'm going to be a puddle that moves around, and I'm at the same time, oh, there's going to be a Kraken, and you don't get to see. You don't get much direct impetus on those abilities. They're just going to go do stuff, and they do some good stuff. But I just don't think that you get that feedback back. Maybe if they added a sort of like a Nidus mechanic where you got stacks based on what the Kraken, the Tentacle Swarm, and the Tempest Barrage were doing, that then fed into maybe Tidal Surge or something. That way you could see the stacks building up, and you're like, oh yeah, look at all the stacks my Kraken's going because I upped its range. You get that feedback from the use of your abilities more than how it is now. I don't know. I think maybe I don't think Hydroid's that weak. I just think people don't. That's my feeling. You just don't get much connection with him.
That gives me an interesting idea with stacks. Like, for example, you would throw down the Kraken, and then you would feed it stacks some way, and then at the end, the Kraken would just slam the ground for like stupid damage or something based on the amount of stacks you have. Maybe they would engage you a little bit, so you don't just sit there as a puddle and like, you come here, bloink, you come here, bloink, and then maybe. Yeah, I feel like some people have problem when their damage is disconnected from them. I personally don't, because I generally play like minion focused builds in most games, so I don't care about my damage being disconnected from me, but I think a lot of people
Xeno?
I don't know. I'm feeling that there's a big disconnect between me and some of the more recent Warframes. Hydroid is one of the...
Hydroid's not a recent Warframe.
Let me finish what I'm bloody saying.
Okay.
Hydroid is one of the ones that I feel that I have no issue with. I like the quality of life changes that he received in his rework. I can get on with Hydroid a lot more than some of the, as I was putting it, newer Warframes. I honestly have no issue with him. I really don't. But I feel like at the same time, who am I to say? Because I don't play him nearly enough. Maybe I should spend a week playing Hydroid.
Yeah, it's the same here. I don't necessarily think that there's anything wrong with Hydroid. When I take him into like a survival, I have fun with it because I don't care about the damage being disconnected from me, and it's I just pop things down. They're doing their own thing, and it's fine. But I think some things can always be improved.
I mean, the big thing with Hydroid is that it's a very clear distinction of I know what his abilities are doing. I'm able to move around using his Tidal Surge. I'm able to, I don't know, shoot the floor with pot shots for some reason. I'm able to bring up tentacles and get a chance of more loot. Like, his abilities have a very clear utilitarian way of operating. right? Same with Oberon, same with Nova, same with a lot of the frames I play, right? But some of the more recent frames, like Hildren, like Korra, it just feels like Revenant, like Garuda. I'm just like, I just feel that so many of the abilities are just like, this is heavily focused on interaction with the enemies. Yeah, but the enemies are fucking dead because I shot them. Right?
Yeah.
If they're
That's a
dead,
problem.
what am I fucking doing with this ability? You know?
Yeah, that's something that I feel as well. Because, if something interacts with an enemy in a certain way, is it better than just shooting them dead?
Yeah.
I don't think. Sometimes it's good fun, right? It's fun to do certain things, but I think most of the time the best answer in Warframe is just shoot them until they're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the balance years ago was better between abilities and weapons, and these days I think it's one or the other, and they don't really interact too much between them. Or they don't feel they do. I mean, some Warframes I just go on, I just want to shoot things. I don't. Yeah, I can see what you guys are saying about. Yeah.
But like Hydroid, zero issue with.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Actually, one card I want to ask is, are you happier with older or newer frames? I'm trying to think where the bite point is. Like which frames are the weird ones where it's really DPS focused? Like, I would say Garuda's in this, because I keep on killing everything before I'm able to do anything with that mirror shield thing she has. Maybe Korra, maybe Gara. Yeah, I don't know. I want to ask, like, are you happy with older frames or newer frames?
For example, I really like Korra. I wasn't quite sure in the beginning. I genuinely like the fact that I can have two companions, because having two cats running around stripping armor is just really cool.
Yeah.
And you also have stupid loot radar. You don't get bigger vacuum because I don't think fetch stacks. But I like it because I have a purpose for every one of the abilities, right? The whip does damage. Then you have the chains that bring everything together, and you can just AoE them down or just crowd control them. Then I like the fact that I can switch Venari onto healing and like heal excavators and cryopods. And then if I want to defend something, I'm just going to drop down a Strangle Dome. So I have a clear purpose for each ability, and it works no matter what I do with them, essentially, right? I kind of have an idea of what I do with them, and I do it, and that's fine for me. But some of the newer ones, like Hildren, for example, that really didn't sit well with me because, I don't know, it's just a weird, it feels forced, some of the combinations for me, and that's what I don't like, I think. I don't know if that was a good explanation or not, but...
No, it was,
yeah, there you
because,
go.
like, basically you're describing Korra to have a very, utility-based play style, whereas things like, Revenant are just like, oh, just spin to win, oh, I've got to keep these thralls up, oh no, the thrall's dead, whatever will I do, oh, fuck.
Oh, crumbs.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's, for me, it's mostly I need to have a purpose for a frame. Like, for example, with Baruch, I like the fact that, I like to play Baruch with guns mostly. And the way I do it is I just put on the daggers and I put things to sleep every now and then. So I use guns. And when I lose enough restraint, I will switch into Desert Wind and just punch things for a little bit. And that's just a fun warframe that I run around with and fuff about. I don't really do defense or stuff like that. So I have that for like weapon combat and when I feel like maybe I want to punch things. And then Korra is kind of like the utility one. But with Hildren, what do I do with Hildren?
Yeah.
It's just a big blob of shield.
I like Hildren.
Yeah, and a lot of other people do as well. When I did the review, a lot of people were like, yeah, Hildren's fine. I like her because of this and that and that. For me, she just didn't click.
Yep. Right. Are we done? I feel we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Cool. Right. Should we move on to the next part of the show?
We shall.
So I think the next part of the show is... Hey, Maze.
So we're still, I'm going to stick on 6. I just see Jugal was upset that we have less memes, but less memes for now. Where are my memes? There are my memes. Less, but hopefully more good. Or to the point. So, I got 6 memes for you. I've just linked them for you, MC, in the Discord chat. And we'll just go through them one at a time. Have I? Haven't I? Put them in the...
No, you sent them to me.
I've sent them to Xeno. There you go, Xeno. Have some memes. There we go. I was sitting there ready. I was like, on the wrong one. Damn it. I failed. Right, there we go. Okay, so meme number 1. You can dread it, you can hide for it, but I am inevitable. Argon Crystal Decay Timer, and then we got a Thanos Snap. So obviously it doesn't matter what you do, you lose half your Argon Crystal.
Yep.
They can't undo that snap.
Yeah.
That one cannot never be undone. Right, I think 2 weeks ago we found the former gym, wasn't it? Was one of the memes.
Yeah.
This week we have Scoom, the shop. There we are. I don't know where that is, but I want to shop there. It looks quite nice, to be honest. I think it must be like a train station or an airport or something. But Scoom is now a shop. So everyone know. Right, number 3. I think I got 2 in a row that hating on ephemeras a bit. Ephemeras aren't always cool. When you spend several hours obtaining bleeding body ephemera, and then you actually equip it. All of that for a drop of blood. We've got the Infinity War reference from Thanos there.
Isn't that the lava lamp one?
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like a lava lamp.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it does not look like blood. Right. Yeah.
Right, number 4. All this effort for a small, barely visible frame. And we've got the 2 version meme. Top face, yes! We got the drop of the Blazing Step ephemera blueprint, and the second one shows it. And is it really? I've not seen this one. Is it really that pitiful?
That bad?
Yeah.
Don't know.
If that's how bad it is, that's just...
It might be to do with the Warframe they're using, because if the Warframe has a small footprint...
well, that's also bad still. It should work the same for all of them.
Maybe they're just playing on a potato.
Potentially.
Still, right, number 5. The Wolf in a Nutshell.
Oh, yeah.
So, what I expected, Stalker 2.0. What we got... I think that's I can't remember the name of it. It's from Star Fox. It's his enemy. I can't remember the guy's name. Violent furry noises. There we go. What we got.
Cool.
And the last one, again, hating on the wolf a bit. Wolf Hunt in a Nutshell. Could you not throw Molotovs for 5 minutes? And everything's on fire. God. Those Molotovs. It's the ultimate weapon. They really are. When do we get the Molotov launcher? That's what I don't know. All right, there we go. There's the 6 simple memes for the week. Xeno, can we have the community shoutouts?
Does this mean I have to paste them?
No, it means I have to minimize this, open this, and I will...
Too late, I already did it.
Oh, no.
Right.
Oh, and
so, the first community shoutout is this gorgeous pencil mirage by Tower Practice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yep.
Mirage will have to make do with the regular non-wolf mask. Oh my god, that is just really good.
Yep.
I want that on my wall.
Sorry.
I'm sure if you ask this person nicely, maybe they'll give you the high-res version for it. Oh, they've done more. Oh, just go on their Twitter and scroll down. You're like, oh, okay, there's brilliant ones in there. Right, let's not look at those though.
Second community shout out is this gorgeous Valkyr by MDRLOz.
Actually, not just a Valkyr.
Yeah, I know it's a crossover, isn't it?
The Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Never say that. Makote?
I don't know.
Still, it's a cap frame Valkyr girl. It's awesome.
Yep.
It's a Valkyrie.
Yep.
There we go.
And it also featured on Primetime, but I did find this before Primetime. Thank you, Loz.
Take that, Primetime.
Yeah.
Xeno's faster than you.
Yeah. Right. The third community shout out is this gorgeous piece of Vauban and Trinity by Kevin Glint.
Oh.
Or Vauban Prime, actually.
We don't have wings in game, do we? Like that.
We need wings in game.
Walked into that one. Yeah. Maybe not quite that, but like I would like. See, if it was like a bit more energy based or technology based in the wings, I think it would be fine. But yeah,
there are
cool.
like, well, yeah,
there are wings, but they're like bat wings, sort of.
Yeah.
You've got the bone structure of the wings, not a bird style wing.
Yeah. Then
still amazing art, by the way.
Then the fourth community shout out, which is We Are Excalibur by Karu.
I saw this one before somewhere. One's really good as well.
I like it, but what's it saying? I mean, what does that say? Yeah, it just looks goddamn beautiful.
I get a feeling that that's Arabic. Not entirely sure because I don't think that's Tenno script.
Maybe.
Pretty sure it's not Tenno script. Anyway, the fifth.
Oh no, the person replied. Someone said, "Is that Tenno script supposed to say something that was just gibberish?" I've been trying to make sense of it. At first, thought it was a hidden signature. Reply from the person says, "Just a gibberish. Sorry to disappoint." So
right. Okay. Right. So the fifth community shout out is this Vault Prime by Drawn Till Dawn. Silence.
I was just taking it in.
Same here. I'm always so amazed at like the proportions of everything are so right. Because when you're creating like a humanoid like picture, if you balls up the proportions of things, they're gonna look completely different. But this looks perfect. This looks like Vault Prime.
Yep. The sixth community shout out is this operator character sheet by Mura Casadaris. So they said something along the lines of that they wanted to have sort of like an anime themed opening for Warframe, but they aren't an animator themselves. They did this character sheet of a character that's an operator.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yep. The seventh community shout out is this victory pose by Castella.
Oh, that's really neat. I like the style of that. That is very.
That needs to be in game.
As opposed to that.
Yeah, that needs
really
to be an icon in game.
Oh no! Also, I meant as a idle animation for when you've got the what is that thing called?
Children.
Yeah, but it's got a name. The
fisticuffs.
Balefire. That's it. You get the Balefire out, and it's only one. You don't get two, unless you've got the ultimate up. Anyway,
right. And then there's the eighth community shout out, which is Solace in Despair by Hannah 515.
Ooh, nice.
I want that on my wall. Actually, no. I think that this person does all the art in this style, isn't it? But
yes. I'm pretty sure.
I've seen. I would love a complete. Oh god, I'd love like a complete mural because you see on the background, it's got like I could probably get horrific here, but to me, it's Indian styled art. The background.
Right.
And with the circular things, I'd love to see like a complete circle with all of the stuff they've designed in like one complete pattern. That's how it normally is in things anyway. But yeah, that'd be amazing. Anyway. Yep.
What was that? 8?
Yep.
The
ninth.
The ninth community shout out is this operator by Sinihan. I thought this was.
I'd watch that anime. Anyway,
I thought it was just like, oh, this is just like a really cool art style.
Yeah.
Really cool design.
Exactly.
Caught my attention.
Very cool.
The 10th community shout out is this Octavia sketch by Ornheit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
Don't you actually mean it's missing concept art from Metal Gear Solid 72?
Clearly.
That's amazing. That really is.
Yep. I think out of all of them, this is the one that I would really want on my wall.
Mm.
And then the 11th community shout out is this lovely Nova by Kylie.
I'd watch that cartoon. It's a nice style. I like it. And again, as you were saying about proportions, because Nova's a bit weird in the way that the length of the leggings captured it really well.
Well, it's
Yeah,
because
she does have really weird legs.
it's because like basically her feet are more like high heel
Tree
shoes.
stumps.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry, I just had to mute to cough. Right. Yeah.
Right.
So that's it for the community shoutouts. Cool. Right, we're bringing the show to an end. And
Already? Oh, wow, yeah.
yeah,
Holy crap.
it's been nearly 2 hours, so an hour and 53 minutes. It'll now take us the remaining 7 minutes to work out what the heck FilmLOz is going to be giving us.
No, a fairly easy one. It's not actually spoken. It's an intro section thing.
So before we start, right? MCGamerCZ, right? How many movies do you watch?
Not many.
Yeah, I'm noticing a trend. How many people don't watch many movies?
Well, mainly because most of the people, to say, obviously, are content creators, and it's clear they're just too busy producing awesome works of amazement that they don't have time to watch films like we do, because we're lazy.
Well,
we don't produce amazing works of amazement.
I kind of want to turn to you, Loz, and say, like, do we have no life that we keep on watching movies?
I know, right?
Right, okay. So, yep, okay, Loz, hit us with your quote.
It is a lawless time. Competing syndicates compete for resources. Threshcone, Cynthia, and Natane. On the shipbuilding planet of Sedna, the foul killer Therm forces drudges into a life of crime in exchange for shelter and protection. On these mean streets, a young Grenier fights for survival, but yearns to fly among the stars.
I know what this is.
It came out last year, if that helps. It's a last year film.
Sounds familiar, but I have no idea.
So, for your benefit, MCGamerCZ, you are more than welcome to ask a series of questions like what genre it is, when was it released? Well, I mean,
it was released in 2018. It's a sci-fi film from a very famous franchise.
Loz. Let him ask the questions.
It sounds Star Wars-esque,
Ah.
but I don't know.
It does sound Star Wars-esque, doesn't it?
I have absolutely no idea.
Came out last year.
I don't think I've watched a single movie that came out last year.
Good choice in general, I
It
think.
was a bad movie.
Bad year, mainly for films, apart from...
Infinity War.
Yeah, mainly. I mean, that was one film, right?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Alright. Not great. Alright.
Am I allowed to furiously scroll through Netflix?
No.
No. You were like incredibly close. It
is a Star Wars film.
Can you remember what Star Wars film came out last year? By itself. Wink, wink.
Yeah, it was the Solo movie?
Yeah. Yes, it's the.
My sister actually went to the cinema to watch that.
Uh-huh.
Did she forget what happened in the movie as soon as she stepped out of the cinema?
I don't know. I haven't asked her about it. I wasn't too particularly interested. None of the new Star Wars movies really caught me.
No.
I very much prefer the older one.
I recently received some traumatic news that apparently there's going to be a 4th trilogy. So, you know, I feel really bad now.
Well, good. It depends who's going to write it with Owen Controller. It's either going to be Rian Johnson, or it's going to be the people who do the Game of Thrones. So both those are bad choices. So we're pretty much ruined. We're ruined. Yes, but that was it. It was. Yeah.
I heard the last season of Game of Thrones is going down. I never watched Game of Thrones, so I have no idea.
Good.
Just don't. Just don't. I am watching the series of Game of Thrones, and just don't.
I gave up on 4.
Yeah, no, I think you can get to about 6. There's 8 seasons, and up to about 5 or 6, maybe you'd be fine. And then just imagine and then it's a happily ever after, because they basically give up on character development. They get characters to forget about all the past series and do what they want, and it doesn't make any sense. And then they're like, "Oh, we have to make these decisions to subvert expectations." So you're like, "Oh yeah, clearly this is going to happen." Then something random happens that's completely unearned. Why? That's what Game of Thrones is now. And it finishes on Monday, when this comes out already. So yes, Loz will be laughing and crying at the same time from the joy and pain of Game of Thrones being finished.
Cool.
Finally.
Right. Well, that's
Never
it for this
talk about it again.
episode. Thank you
Yes.
very much, MCGamerCZ, for being on the show. It's been absolutely lovely having you and your perspective on things. For everyone at home, if you've gotten this far, and I should have said this earlier, check out MCGamerCZ's channel. You'll actually find a link in the cards. One of the cards will be to him. And yeah, we will see you next week.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. I hope I was a good host.
Yeah, you were brilliant. Honestly, you were great. Actually loved having you. Loz is going to continue rambling. Or not.
Well, I could and explain how Game of Thrones completely sucks now because frickin' with the dragons